The Mk2 defensive hand grenade is a fragmentation hand grenade used by the U.S. Armed Forces during World War II and in later conflicts including the Vietnam War. The Mk2 was introduced in 1918, replacing the failed Mki of 1917, and was standardized in 1920. On April 2, 1945 the Mk2 was redesignated the Mk2. The Mk2 was replaced by the M26 series and later M33 series. It was phased out gradually in service beginning with the Korean War. Due to the tremendous quantity manufactured during World War II, it was in limited standard issue with the U.S. Army and U.S. Marine Corps throughout the 1950s and 1960s. The U.S. Navy was one of the last users when it was discontinued in the 1970s. Description: the Mk2 was manufactured with grooves in the cast iron. This was erroneously believed to aid fragmentation, but additionally provided for a better grip when throwing the grenade. This gave it the appearance of a pineapple fruit, giving it the common nickname of the iron pineapple. It was also commonly referred to as a frag grenade, as opposed to the Mk offensive blast grenade, because it was the only fragmentation grenade in U.S. service. The original Mk2 grenade had a 3/8-threaded base plug in its base. This was designed to place the explosive filling. The product improved Mkiia-1 introduced in 1942 lacked the bottom filler hole of the Mk2 and was filled through the fuse well. Mk2 grenades were filled with EC blank firepowder. It produced an adequate amount of fragmentation and did away with the need of a detonator. The detonator was initially replaced by a small length of safety fuse terminated with a black powder igniter charge. Production grenades with the EC powder filler used the M10 series of igniting fuse. TNT was used in some Mk2 models, but it had a tendency to over-fragment the cast iron body. Pre-war Mkiis with a TNT filler were identified with an all-yellow body as a warning to users. Wartime grenades were repainted olive drab for camouflage purposes with a narrow yellow band below the fuse. Repainted grenades usually lacked the yellow band. The Mk2 used the M5, M6, and M10 series fuses. These early fuses made a loud bang, and produced sparks when activated. They had other problems as well. The M10 series powder train made a hissing sound as it burned, potentially alerting the enemy of its presence. The M5 and M6 series sometimes prematurely detonated when the flash from the primer hit the TNT charge rather than the delay fuse. Moisture could get in under the foil fuse cap, causing the weapon to fail to detonate. Improved smokeless and silent fuses were later fitted after World War II. Variants: grenade, hand, fragmentation, Mk2, EC powder filler, uses M11 or M10A1 igniting fuse. Grenade, hand, fragmentation, Mkiia-1, EC powder filler, uses M10A2 igniting fuse. Has no base plug because it was filled through the fuse well. Grenade, hand, fragmentation, HE, Mk2, TNT filler, uses M5 detonating fuse. Grenade, hand, TNT, fragmentation, Mk2, TNT filler, uses M6A4C detonating fuse. Grenade, hand, practice, Mk2, black powder spotting charge in a cardboard tube connected to a M10 series igniting fuse. Has a standard body with a wooden or cork base plug that popped out during detonation, creating a loud report and smoke to indicate ignition. The body would be reused and reloaded as long as it remained intact. Grenade, hand, practice, M21, black powder spotting charge, uses M10 series igniting fuse. Has a heavier body and no base plug. Its body was embossed with the vertical letters A, D, and X on the knobs in a column on one side. When detonated, it made a loud report and smoke came out of the fuse vents. Mk2 grenades came 25 to a wooden crate and were shipped in fiberboard packing tubes. TNT grenades, like all high-explosive devices, were shipped unfused to prevent premature detonation. Their fuses were shipped separately and came in flat cardboard boxes of 25. EC powder grenades were shipped with their fuses attached. Specifications: body, made of cast iron with a grooved surface that is divided into 40 knobbed segments in 5 rows of 8 columns. Models made from 1918 to 1942 have a 3/4 threaded base plug to insert or remove the explosive filler. Models made from 1942 onwards were filled through the fuse well to speed up production. Fuse, dependent on variant, includes M5 and M6 detonating fuses, and M10 igniting fuses. The delay time was 4 to 5 seconds. Charge, either a low explosive or high explosive filler. Markings: low explosive grenades were made of blackened iron or were painted gray or black to prevent rust. Pre-war high explosive grenades were painted yellow. Wartime grenades were overpainted or painted olive drab with a yellow ring at the top. Mk2 practice grenades were painted red. M21 practice grenades were painted light blue and had blue painted fuse levers. Gallery. See also, M1 grenade projection adapter, United States hand grenades, notes and references. Gavassi, Tom. Arsenal of Democracy II, American Military Power in the 1980s and the Origins of the New Cold War, with a survey of American weapons and arms exports. New York, Grove Press, 1981. ISBN 0-394-17662-6. War Department. Field Manual FM 23-30-1944 Hand and Rifle Grenades. Rocket, AT, HE, 2.36 inches. PGS. 5 to 6. External links, information about the Mk2 at inert-or.org.